Hey guys, so it is Reiyume Chibi and I am back with another video. This time this topic is brought to you by Mark, one of my patrons who's very active. He wants to know basically how I got started with my gamer lifestyle, what my favorite game is, and what came first, either gaming or cosplaying. And when I game, I am a little bit of a rager. Yeah, just a bit. Of course, I love your typical first-person shooters. I've loved them for as long as I can remember. I mean, the typical Call of Duty, Titanfall, Siege, love it all, have it all, played it all. The only thing that I don't really like is that it does become overplayed. I do also find that Call of Duty is starting to really fall out. Like, it's not what it used to be, and a lot of people I've heard have said that. It could be either one, we're getting older and we're just not into it anymore, or two, they're just shitting on the game now and it's not as fun as it used to be. But at least for Call of Duty, I gotta admit, I do love gun game. In almost all of the Call of Duties, which I find really, really fun and challenging, and it's always changing because you're changing your guns, and I mean, you do get good at it at a point, but based on the players that you face, it kinda feels like more of a challenge to me, and I do like that. So let's start with a blast from the past! Basically, I started gaming because of my uncle, surprisingly. He gave me a Super Nintendo when I was about, I think like 4 or 5. My first game was Super Mario World. It's definitely a classic. So I was blowing the cartridges, trying to get them to work in my little Super Nintendo all the time, and there was a number of other games that I also played. I definitely played Donkey Kong. That was fun, but for some reason the vultures in the game used to scare me as a kid. So when they would like pop up on my screen, I wouldn't want to play that mission because like, no, they just creeped me out. So I guess I was a pretty bad gamer as a kid. Moving on from Super Nintendo, I also played GameCube. So GameCube was life, and of course, I love to ruin friendships. So what game did I play? Mario Party 5. And let me tell you, I was the best at it. The friends that I played with, honestly, they were so fun to begin with, but we'd make it like a big competition. And I was pretty good at the game. I mean, like, I had a little hacks here and there that worked for me. Like, if you had to press A on the controller a whole bunch of times, I took, like, my nail and I would, like, hold it against there and go fast, and it would, like, totally beat everybody. And, like, I had little tricks up my sleeve that just people would get so angry about, but whatever, it was a fun game and I would win. The only thing that sucked is one time I went to go and get the star, and you know how you're supposed to accept yes, okay, fine. My stupid controller and stupid me accepted no, and no star for me. And of course, Buddy, who's behind me in line, got the star and he won the game. So I was really sad. I was very sad. So since we've had my blast from the past, we might as well talk about the present. So what am I gonna do for you to explain? I mean, Leo might explain because he got up at like a perfect time. No, he's not interested. He's not about this. No. Really? Okay, so Leo decided that he wants to sit in front of my camera. Okay, cool. Alright, so now we're kind of like hydraulics on the camera. Thanks, cat. Okay, moving on. So we are gonna start with a countdown of my favorite video games. So I'm gonna list 5 for you guys today. There are more, but I thought these were kind of the most relevant to me that I really do love. From GameCube, now it's for DS. Animal Crossing New Leaf is my number 5 on my list. For those of you who don't know what Animal Crossing is, basically you get to be the mayor in New Leaf and you run your little village, town, whatever you want to call it. You get to decorate your own house, you get to buy furniture for your house, you get to collect things throughout the game. So when you're collecting things, this can range from fossils that you dig up, bugs that you're gonna catch throughout the game. You can go fishing and collect fish as well. You also get to build relationships with your neighbors. You can pretty much trick them into giving you things. Like, the game seems childish, but there's a lot of like amateur business aspect to it because you're selling things for a much higher price. If you go to a little shop, you can actually put things up in the flea market, and let's say it's a value of like 1,000, you can actually put it for 2,000 and sell it to your neighbor, and they'll give you the money for it. So it's about like kind of trickery in the end too. Certain events happen on certain days, like tournaments and things like that. So I thought that was pretty cool because it gives you something to look forward to. It also celebrates holidays, Halloween, pretty much anything, and you can dress up during that time. And again, it's like little events that you can't do regularly throughout the year. Yeah, it's a pretty good game, and I think like maybe I like it because I have like OCD tendencies or something. I love things in a certain place, and I love my town looking clean, so I'm like pulling weeds all the time. Yeah, maybe I should get that checked out. Number 4 on my list, actually that was like 8. Number 4 on my list is The Sims 3. The Sims 3 is a life simulation game. I don't know if you've seen the pattern here. I guess I tend to like order in my life. Yeah, I need order. So I played it all through GameCube times, PS2 times. It did come out for the PS3, but I didn't pick it up because I had that version for my PC. So I've played it on my PC ever since, and I've downloaded almost all of the DLC packs. Yeah, pretty much almost all of it. So I've played a lot of Sims, and I've also played and have Sims 4. I just don't find it as open world as Sims 3. So there's a lot of loading screens which really annoy me in The Sims 4. So I stick with The Sims 3 half the time. With The Sims, basically what it is you get to choose and create your character. You can either do this as a random character, or you can customize pretty much everything that you could possibly imagine. Hair, skin tone, outfit. You can, if you have like the Supernatural DLC pack, you can make them a vampire, a ghost, pretty much anything. After you customize your character, you'll actually see that there's kind of a little stats bar at the bottom, and it'll tell you when your sim is hungry, when they have to go to the washroom, pretty much when they're happy, when they're sad, what little things are affecting their mood at that time. So it's very, very specific, and throughout the day your whole point is to basically meet those needs. You also get to meet goals of theirs and build relationships, and it's, like I said, a life simulation game. So another cool feature about The Sims is a lot of people have become interactive within the community, so they have made websites where you can download free content, like furniture, outfits, hairstyles, and stuff that isn't in the base game. So it's pretty cool for customizable options, and you can even make your boobs bigger. The game is also fun because you get to live out those goals that I was talking about, and you can do pretty much anything that you want. So I mean, if you want to be a slut, be a slut. You can have an affair with people, and you'll even see that the girlfriend or the boyfriend of that person you're having an affair with will hate you with all that they can. You can also die in The Sims. So there's a number of ways you can die, although a lot of torturous people I found who play this game like to box their Sims in and then start a fire. You should, yeah, definitely see somebody about that, because that's torture. Yeah, that's torture. Another cool feature about The Sims is when you do die, you actually meet the Grim Reaper, and you do become a ghost. Fully customizable game. You can become a fat stripper who dances if you build your own nightclub. If you do get a DLC pack, sometimes they already have nightclubs, and you just go in a bikini on a stripper pole, like you see here. Yeah, there's lots of random stuff that happens. Burglars break into your house, aliens shoot things from the sky, you get abducted by aliens at some point. So I mean, totally random, really fun game. Number 3 on my list is League of Legends. I know you're all gonna hate me for this. I already know it. I know. League of Legends is a MOBA, which means it is a multiplayer online battle arena. Basically, you pick a champion and you choose a lane, and basically you fight the other team in order to get into their base. So to do that, you have to take out towers, you have to kill the opposite team's champions, all the way until you get in their base and defeat the Nexus. They are also trying to do the same to you. So it's pretty cool based on that factor. If everything goes well and you get the lane that you call. The downsides to League, honestly, can make a new video, so I don't really want to get into it. I don't. that's playing with fire. That's just a no-go right now. There are over 100 champions to choose from, which I really enjoy because I get to change up my game all the time. My favorite, as most of you know, is Diana. I started with her as a mid laner and then tried her jungle and found that she is much more effective in the jungle, to me at least, and I highly enjoy playing her. Yeah, she's cool. The game itself is free to play, which I enjoy. The only thing I don't like about this game is skins. I do love skins. I do love customizing things. Okay, League, you know that. And you're asking me to pay for skins to put on my champion, which makes me upset because sometimes I pay for it. And I don't like to spend money. So I don't only exclusively play jungler, I do prefer it, although there are other lanes that I do play and enjoy. So I do ADC, which is bot lane, and my favorite to use down there is Miss Fortune.
Fortune doesn't favor
If I don't
fools.
use Miss Fortune, I do use one of the newer champs, which is Kai'Sa.
Are you the
She's
hunter?
actually very effective, and I found her to be really fun to play, so she's been one of my favorites right now as well. As for mid lane, I do use Diana, which most of you should get by now that she's my favorite. Okay, she really is. But I also play Katarina the odd time, and I really enjoy playing Viger mid because I think he's hilarious, and he's short like me, and we're evil, so it's like I can identify with him. I also like to play support. So I'm not like your typical gamer girl who only plays support. No, I play a variety of roles, but support is really fun. Based on the ADC I play with, I will play with randoms and hope to God that they play normally, but you don't always win in that factor. But yeah, I use Lux for support. If I don't use her support, I do use her mid, and she's actually really good with her crowd control abilities, which that's why I enjoy playing her. And her ult is pretty OP when you land it, because she's skill shot based. So she's fun. I also play support Lulu. Lulu is adorable. She's tiny, she's cute, she's like a little fairy, and she's so OP when you get the ball rolling with her. So I really enjoy Lulu. I don't really play top lane, although I have before. Sometimes I'll use AP champs in order to do so because I prefer AP champs. I do or did use Kennen top. I don't know if he's viable to use there anymore. I haven't played top in a very long time. Downfall of League, which almost all of you know. The community is toxic. Ugh, like so toxic. Like you could get into a lobby and they're already like talking about your mom, or you're trash, you're this, you're that. Even racial slurs, like it's like horrible. I've also learned whenever you join a lobby who you don't have friends on your team, or you only have like one friend on your team, mute everybody else. Mute them. Even mute their pings if you want. Makes the gaming experience so much better. The game is a good game. The people who play the game are not good people all the time. Sometimes you'll find friendly people. Other times, like 95% of the time, you will not. So, my word to you, if you do ever play League, it is a rage game. Mute everybody and just enjoy what you do and play the way you play. Number 2 on my list. We are getting close to number 1, guys, but number 2 is Far Cry 3. Far Cry 3 is an open world first-person shooter. There's lots of game elements that I absolutely love about this game. It has an RPG play style, although you're still shooting pretty much everything, so it's great. So you complete missions for the main story, but you also have your side quests, just like pretty much any RPG, which is really fun to complete. You take over outposts where a lot of bad guys are, and sometimes you actually need tactics to do it efficiently, or other times, like Cameron, my boyfriend, you just run in and shoot up the whole place and hope you don't die. You have crafting aspects in the game, which is pretty fun. You also have skill points that you use in order to unlock different abilities like takedowns and things like that to kill enemies. And the storyline in Far Cry 3 is absolutely perfect. A main reason why I love this game so much is honestly for the characters. In particular, Vaz is my absolute favorite villain ever. He's insane, which makes him totally awesome.
I'm sorry. I don't like the way you are looking at me. Okay? You have a fucking problem in your head. Do you think I'm bullshitting you? Do you think I'm lying? Fuck you! Okay? Fuck you! It's okay, man. I'm gonna chill, hermano. I'm gonna chill. The thing is, alright? The thing is, I killed you once already. And it's not like I am fucking crazy. It's okay. It's like water under the bridge. Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, fuck you!
Besides Vaz being a really cool character in the game that makes it so much more entertaining, there's actual features that are drug-related. So basically, you'll even run through a field of weed where it's burning and you get high and everything starts to become a little fuzzy, and you'll start to see hallucinations throughout the game and really weird demon kind of things. And those are missions that progress the story as well, so that's pretty cool to kind of change things up and still make it interesting. Not only do you kill people in the game, you also kill animals. So I'm an animal lover, and I really hate doing it, but at the same time, I know it's just a video game, so it's like, it's necessary, and all of a sudden I become like a savage and start killing all these animals, like, ah! And it's like, yeah. And once it dies, you go up to it and you can skin the animal, and it is very bloody, and you get skins from those animals in order to do your crafting. So you make multiple items that just kind of progress things for you, like a quiver for your arrows, and I like seeing all the different animals. I don't like seeing them come at me and attack me. I mean, having a jaguar coming full speed ahead and jumping on me and I have to fight it off me is pretty scary. I did play Far Cry 4. It was good. There were aspects of the game that were different that I did like. What I didn't like was the villain was not as good as Vaz. I'm very biased when it comes to that. Far Cry Primal was also another game that I played, which I fairly enjoyed. You are more so caveman, back in the day, barbaric kind of character. They introduced befriending animals, so yes, you can still attack them and kill them for whatever skins you need, but you can also get bait from killing animals and using that bait to befriend other animals such as tigers, lions, wolves. So I really enjoyed that. The fish in Far Cry Primal scared the living shit out of me. They are very scary looking, as you see in the picture here. I do not like that swimming at me, trying to kill me, thank you. Out of the Far Cry series, which is new right now, is Far Cry 5. I did pick it up. I do enjoy it. The storyline is actually pretty strong, which I really enjoy. It's a American religious cult that is kind of taking over the States, and using people to kind of join their cult and kill people in the process as well. So it's very like, can you stop moving my camera? Thank you, Leo. So it's very like cutthroat throughout the whole story. The graphics obviously have improved so much too, because it's for the PS4 and I own a PS4 Pro, so I really enjoyed that aspect of it because I like visual good stuff. So it's time! It is time to announce what my #1 favorite game is right now, and I am currently playing it, so those of you who have played it, because it's not brand new, don't give me spoilers please. I wouldn't do that to you, that's rude. My #1 favorite game right now is Persona 5! I found this game to be similar to Danganronpa, which is another game that I do like, but I watched the anime so I kind of killed the game for myself. Basically, you are part of the Phantom Thieves that go into a metaverse in order to defeat shadows and change the hearts of evil people. So this game is RPG style, dungeon crawling, turn-based fighting, and a life simulation game all in one. It also takes place in Japan, which I totally love because I went to Japan and as I'm playing the game, I'm like, ooh, I was there, ooh, I saw that, ooh, that's the same. So that I really love. So these turn-based battles actually are facing the shadows using a manifestation of your psyche in order to fight these monsters. You can also convince them to be a part of your team, and therefore you're collecting different personas as the time goes on, and you want to collect as many as you can because you get to fuse them together to create stronger personas. You also fall in love with the characters throughout the story. So character-wise, I absolutely love Ryuji. He is like, oh, like I love Ryuji. He's so fun. And I do love Queen. I think she is Makoto. She is really, really like badass, independent woman style. So it's like, yeah, I like her. In Persona, along with your battling and your metaverse stuff, you actually get to play like a regular high school student. So it's life choices throughout the whole day that you actually want to increase your social bonds with your friends in order to increase your abilities and your power within your personas, because they are connected. Certain personas represent certain friends and so on. So you want to basically spend time with your friends throughout the day in order to rank up those social bonds. You also take the time to go shopping, play little mini games to upgrade your own skills. Skills are very important throughout this game, your knowledge, proficiency, and your guts, and quite a bit of other ones, where you do things throughout the day in order to increase those, which is very, very, very important. So Mark, your question, what came first, gaming or cosplaying? Gaming definitely came first, although it has influenced my cosplaying quite a bit. I've cosplayed a number of characters from different video games, which most of you know. Vaz was actually one of the gender bender cosplays that I did, and I would like to redo and do a proper photo shoot with, because he deserves that, he really does. I've also cosplayed a number of characters from League of Legends, so I've done Diana, I've done Katarina as well, which is actually one of my favorites along with Diana. So there's a number of cosplays that I've done in relations to video games. I've also done Street Fighter, so I did Poison. She isn't my favorite character, but she was kind of fun to cosplay based on the fact that she's kind of a trap. I'd also like to shout out to some of my patrons, being Mark, Jay, and Austin. You guys are absolutely awesome for supporting me throughout my cosplay experience as well with these videos, so thank you very much. And also thanking, of course, all my other patrons, because you guys are just so cool. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, and if you did enjoy this video, come back for more, because there will always be more. And I will see you guys soon, so bye bye for now.